Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. What if I told you that there existed on the market a soft plastic that was used for finesse fishing that was $19 for one individual plastic? Probably wouldn't believe me, right? Well, it does exist, and I'll put a picture of it here momentarily. What if I told you now that a mold maker recently released a mold that is similar, and it has absolutely been tearing the market up. Now you can own the means of production for this one individual bait. We got some stuff to get into, so let's go ahead and talk about it. Today we're going to talk about the Ultramolds Fuzzy Ball. Okay, as I mentioned, welcome back, one and all. I know it's been quite a while since there's been a video on this channel. Channel updates to start, I guess. I still work a day job and run this company. We did a trade show back in January. We did really well. Sold, I don't know, around 500 bags of baits during the course of the weekend. Made lots of connections, saw lots of people, made lots of friends. Thank you to everyone that actually came by and stopped by the booth. Great talking with you, great meeting with you. Immediately after that, I went straight to Chicago. I work a day job in the software industry, in finances, like the financial software industry. So straight to Chicago for that. And then coming back, just had a metric ton of orders, you know, both from the trade show and, you know, just kind of our normal volume. Really just a ton of orders. So been catching up with that. Thank you for everyone that has been patient. If you haven't received it, I know that the weather on the East Coast has kind of been messing things up. You will get, you know, a tracking number in your email and everything. We are working on it, and we're working on kind of just closing the gap and making sure that everyone gets their orders out, and it is what you actually ordered and all that good stuff, and quality control, right? So it's an endless process around here. Definitely been super busy, and you know, typically when life happens and career happens and all that sort of stuff, you know, it's like one thing's got to fold, right? And I just didn't have time to come out here and film videos, to be perfectly honest with you. So I guess that's a good thing. It's a good position to be in for a business, to have, you know, this volume of orders and everything. And thank you for everyone that's, you know, supported the channel, supported the web store, you know, put an order in, soft plastics, or bait making supplies, whatever it is that you order. So thank you for all of that. So today we are going to be talking about the Ultramolds Hairy Ball mold. This is, of course, similar to the Hit Up, I don't know quite how to pronounce it, Koiki, or Kaki, Kaiki, something. I'm not sure how it's pronounced. I'm not Japanese, or so I'll put a picture of it so that you guys can see what this little fuzzy ball is. But this thing usually retails for about $19 for one individual ball. And Ultramolds just came out with this mold, the mold that is similar to it. Of course, it's not an exact copy, but this is a 2-cavity mold, and we'll get into talking a little bit about it. But this is the craziest mold I've ever seen. It's actually a 4-piece mold. So you'll see on each side you have these cone-like things, right? And then on the inside there's the cone. And if any of you have ever shot tubes, you know you have, you know, like the actual tube part with the legs that you insert into the mold, and that's how you get these little like radial legs. Now this, you have to actually use a knife or something to unlock it on the top, and then there is the inside. So we can see just how this is built. Right, plastic comes in here, fills the ball, fills these little radial legs, and then it's going to come out and fill these little radial legs also. So super crazy looking mold. Shoots really well. I know Rupert over at Ultramolds, great guy. They're actually the makers of, if we take a look over there, See that machine over there? That is called a shooting star, and that is the mechanic by which you can really just vastly increase production. So that's the mini shooting star. Holds about 12 cups on each side, and then they have a large version. I also have a large version on the other side of the workshop, and I believe that's about 16 cups on each side or something. Okay, we are back. I caught it right as my battery died there. I was saying that the large shooting star is 16 cups on each side. The thing about Ultramolds, they have the best customer service in the industry, hands down. So they make the shooting stars. They also make a larger automated production machine called Big Blue. And then, of course, being machinists, they cut any number of custom molds and can create anything that you really desire. So I do have a code, save you a little bit of money if you decide to go get anything, or this mold specifically, or anything of that nature. I don't get any sort of benefit off of that. It's just a code to give you guys a little bit of a price break. So today we are going to be doing a couple of colors in this mold. The first thing we're going to do is we're going to do jelly apple red. When we were at the trade show a couple weeks ago, I made these, right? And this is just I have LED lights that shine down on the top of the display racks. And I thought to myself, it'd be nice to have something very bright to catch the color, right, and catch people's eye. And then I put this little keychain on it, and I would just hang it up on the post, and people could come by and touch it and look at it, and hold it up and see how the movement would go and all that sort of stuff. And weirdly enough, this is literally the only color anyone wanted. I made this color just for the keychains, and gosh, everyone was just asking this and Green Pumpkin Magic, and we sold out of that almost immediately. So we're going to make today. We're going to do our jelly apple color, and then for the second shoot, we're probably going to do like a laminate, just to show you guys that this mold can actually laminate. So we'll be right back as soon as we are ready to add our color. Okay, we are back. Our plastic is ready, and if your plastic doesn't look like this, perfectly clear, you can see through it, very minimum bubbles, well, you're using the wrong plastic. So we are going to go ahead and just add some color here. This is Lureworks Jelly Apple Red. I'm not going to measure it out. Typically we do 35-40 drops per individual cup. Today I'm just going to do some squirts, just to, there you go. That's probably way more than that. It's probably 60 or 80 drops, but just to demonstrate how the mold shoots. So there we go. We got a nice purple red color, and we're going to go ahead and draw it up and shoot it. The thing about this mold is that it takes so very little for the balls to be filled up. It's almost, let's see, this is like a 10-ounce injector, so if I had to guess, it'd probably be less than an ounce for either one of these. That means you can get a whole bunch of, out of one cup. I mean, you could probably make, I don't know, 20 of these individual balls. So we'll be right back, and we'll demold this, and then we'll talk a little bit more about it. Okay, we're back. Alright, now this mold, remember it's a 4-piece mold, comes apart kind of weird. First the outside shells come off, and you can see in there the little legs. So should pull off the top shell and see something like this. I typically just take my finger and run it around the outside to kind of free up those legs. And then we'll do the same thing on the other side. And then next, I did say that you have to have a knife or something. This is, you can't exactly open this with your normal hands, so just open it like that. And here we go. Here are our two fuzzy balls. Now these things catch the absolute mess out of bass. I mean, freshwater, this is crazy. You can, I've put a nail weight in the head and then just hook it. I mean, you can literally use any type of hook. I probably wouldn't use like a Texas rig hook, but any type of circle hook, or any type of like small shanked hook. I use the Owner mosquito lights, or the mosquito hooks. Those things are incredible. But just hook it however you want. Just put a little nose weight in it, and this thing will just slowly sink to the bottom. And these little legs, man, they pulse the entire way down. They will catch underwater current, and then even when it hits the bottom, or you get it to where it needs to go, you know, if you're putting it on a drop shot or something, these little legs will just move. They catch the current, they catch water, right? So there you go. That's our jelly apple, most requested color of 2026, officially, as of a couple weeks ago for the trade show. We are going to be right back, and we're going to do a laminate. We're going to do a color I call toxic. It's basically just black and green. Okay, we're back. Now, as I mentioned, this color toxic, it is black and green. You can use any sort of black, which is what we did. We just did 35 drops of black 101 from Lureworks. And then you want to use as bright of a green as you can get. So for today, we're going to use this Barlow's has released some fluorescent colors. So we're going to do fluorescent green, and then we're going to do some radioactive green mica from Mad Micas. And these guys, I've done videos on these guys before. Really solid products, just very good mica. Other options. Okay, as I was saying, before my camera battery died, we'll have to get that figured out at some point. Other options. Lime Truce 186 from Lureworks, also a very, very bright green. You can also use, there's a fluorescent green from MF. Their website does actually work. I have received orders from them. So I know for a while their website was down, or something was going on, but their website's back and functioning. So this is fluorescent. Everyone loves to say that MF colors bleed and all this, but as far as I can tell, that's just a persistent lie that people have been saying in the industry. I mean, this even says non-bleed on it. I have found it to not actually bleed. So, as I said, today we are going to mix up our toxic color. Okay, now for our toxic color, typically I would say, you know, measure it out, 35-40 drops per cup. Today, we're not really measuring anything. We're just going to square a little bit in there. We are, however, going to measure the mica. We're going to just do an eighth of a teaspoon. I like to do a nice flat eighth, and then give it a mix. Be forewarned with powder. Typically it gets a lot more messy before it gets cleaner, and then it mixes into the liquid and you're good to go. So there we go, we got a nice toxic lime green. Here is our black. As I mentioned before, it is literally just 35 drops of Lureworks black. We got it all drawn up. And we will go ahead and shoot this mold. Again, this mold takes a surprisingly little amount of plastic to fill, so as long as you have it clamped tight, there's not really a huge worry of flashing if you push too hard, because it'll stop. The back pressure will stop, but just be forewarned, you know, if you don't have this thing clamped tight and you push too hard, it will definitely come flowing out the sides. It'll definitely flash if that's the case. Okay, we're back. Alright, so this is out of the end of the injector, little pucks that are left. We got bright green and black. And of course everyone wants to see the dual block. That's the new hotness. So there it is in the dual block.
very, if you were to twist it, very, I don't know, radioactive DNA like. And we can actually see, if you look at the mold here, you can see that it just laminates perfectly. So we'll go ahead and open this up. And there you can see on one side we've got the black. Ooh, and then on the other side we've got the green. Alright, and I gotta tell you, I'm a huge fan of how this came out. This is probably one of my new favorite colors. Green on one side, black on the other, and you can see it's a perfect laminate split right down the center. And you get one half of the tentacles that are green and one half that are black. There you go. So this is the color Toxic. We do have this released on our website. When we released this bait, we came out with 30 colors. So there's literally 30 different options, everything you can possibly choose from. All the mainstay colors, you know, green pumpkin, watermelon, and all that. Hematoma, we call it bruise, which is black and white. Sorry, black and Okay, as I was saying, hematoma, which is black and blue. I have officially ordered a new camera battery because that cut off again. Anyway, so let's keep talking about this. So this mold, let's talk about cost. It is $350 for a 2-cavity. Now, some might say that that's a bit pricey. I happen to know that they've had no problem with these molds flying off the shelves. When I talked to him many weeks ago, he was saying he had something like 30 in line to be cut. Again, these things retail for $19 per individual ball. Of course, we're not going to sell them for that. That's kind of our thing, offering products that are on the market for less. Fishing should be kind of accessible to everyone, at least that's our belief. So ours are priced at $12 for 2. Now we sell them in 2-packs. I know that there's some people that still sell these in 1-packs. It's kind of user experience may vary. I am of the opinion that you need to do something to differentiate yourself in the market in order to basically convince people that your product is worth buying over someone else's, right? So, $350, 2-cavity. If you use code 47, as in the number 4, the number 7, and then lures, it will get you 5% off your order. This mold or anything on the site, if you guys wanted to buy an individual mold, I know that they make a whole bunch of other cool molds. 5% off is 5% off, right? Save you a little bit of money, right? So, that is our conversation on the mold. We'll be right back for last look, and I'm actually going to show you guys a little bit about the packaging. Okay, we are back. This is last look. These are the baits we shot in the order we shot them. First we have our Jelly Apple Red. And then we have our Toxic color. But, oh wait, what is this? This is how we package it. So, I actually had a lot of people with questions on this specific process. And all of the answers to your questions are found on Amazon. I bought these clear cubes, I guess. Long rectangles? I don't know what this shape. Multiple college degrees, and they didn't teach me, basic shapes, I guess. But anyway, so it's about 40 of these things for $16, so super affordable. But as you can see, I mean, they just fold down into a box. There's one side, and then you just fold up the other side, and you have your box. So what I've been doing is I basically just take, let's see if you guys can see this. This is a wire form from Barlow's. You can buy them anywhere, but this is if you wanted to make your own like spinner baits. They have pre-made spinnerbait forms, right? But this is if you wanted to bend your own. Like, you know, hey, I'm not satisfied with the pre-cut ones, so I'm going to make my own. They also have wire benders too, right? So I've been buying these, and this is actually the post that you see there in the middle. I don't know if you can see that if the camera's picking it up. You will notice it's much longer than the actual box. I am taking this and cutting it down. I just kind of put the tip over a candle or a lighter. I poke a hole in the top, poke a hole in the bottom, and then I 90 degree these. You can see this at the top. And basically impale the baits, feed it into the box, stick it through the hole, close it down, and then you basically just stick the 90 degrees. Okay, as I was saying, 90 degree the top, and then you just stick that through the holes, and you have them nice and suspended. This makes it so that the little tentacles don't get like crushed and lay flat. Then we're just going to slap some tape over each side and print off our labeling, and this is how they ship. So on our site you'll get two. I believe it's $11.99. Two for $11.99, which is currently the cheapest on the entire market. There's another company out of Texas that's selling them, I believe, $6.99 or something per individual ball. But again, that's only individual balls. So yeah, that's how we package these. If you guys have any questions, let me know in the comments. If you so choose, I'll put the discount code down in the info box there. The number 4, the number 7, and lures get you 5% off at Ultramolds. Save you a little bit of money. And until next time.